Hi, hey everybody. I just wanted to come on again. I just had a wonderful experience from my little local newspaper. The headline was Lemonade Entrepreneurs Get Police Visit. Well, first of all, when I saw that headline, I thought, oh no, not here in this little sleepy southern Jersey town. No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that they're shutting down kids' lemonade stands like I've seen it done in so many other places. And it isn't. It is actually a great little story about how they came to support them. They had only, I guess, one of the moms put out a plea on her Facebook page to get people to come out and order some lemonade from the girls because they only had one customer all morning. So the police officers showed up and ordered some lemonade and sat with them and did fun games and yoga poses with the kids too. And they all had a good time. Now that's a good police department. I feel so happy to live in a place that has a police department like that. And I hope it continues and I hope it grows and spreads because these guys, they deserve to be noticed. They deserve to spread. They're the ones who, that kind of community commitment is the thing that police officers really should be about. I just love it. I'm so happy to see that. So anyway, starting off on that good vibe. There's another good vibe too. A few days ago, there was I don't remember if I did a video on it or not. In New York City, in the Bronx, I don't think I did. In the Bronx, not the Bronx, in Brooklyn, Rockland County, they passed a law and that was not vetted it wasn't passed by the governor of New York at all. They just took it upon themselves locally to mandate vaccinations there. I think there were 5 cases of measles, and they mandated forced vaccinations, and they were going to have people go house to house and force people to get vaccinated. They could decline, and they could, if they did, they would be fined $1,000 for each person in the family, and each person in the household would be fined $1,000 each individually. And they would probably be also vaccinated against their will anyway from the tone of what was being said. Well, luckily, the people rose up and it got squashed. It got squashed, and so that's another good thing. And the thing I love about that is it shows you what people can do. I so often hear from people how, ouch, whenever you spread information, that's hard to take sometimes, difficult information to hear. And a lot of times people have the reaction like, I don't want to hear it because I can't, what can I do about it? I can't do anything about it. And it's an understandable response. I surely understand it. But I like stories like that because it shows you that people can do stuff about it. Just know what's going on when it strikes locally in your area. Stand up to it and stop it, and don't take part in implementing it either. That whole process, it would have taken people to commit the act of going door to door and to commit the act of carrying this thing out. It takes people to do it. What if there weren't people willing to do it? You know, we need to get to people to where they're not willing to do it. And in order for people to not be willing to do it, they need to have the pertinent information that informs them of the fact that it really is not ethical for them to be doing that. And it doesn't serve them or anybody else to be doing that. And I think the more that we do that, the more other people will do that, and our whole society will grow and be empowered. You know, both personally as well as collectively. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm happy to be able to report that to people. We do have the power. We have the power in our hands. It's all up to us, you know, what we let happen and what we actively help to implement. It's all up to us. So the information, yeah, a lot of it's really hard to take. I know, believe me, I know. One of the things that we have to learn to do is to simply, like, to disassociate in a sense, not feel personally frightened by it, not to feel like it's going to actually, you know, something bad is going to happen to us personally at the moment, but to just be aware so that we have this information bank in the back of our heads so that we are aware, we can be alerted, and then when something happens in our area, we understand the situation well enough to know what right action is. That's the thing, we have to know what right action is. You know, if we don't have the right information, we're not going to know what right action is. So even if it's something on the other side of the world, well, what would right action for us be? Maybe just to spread the news, spread the awareness to other people. You know, number one is awareness. We need to know what it is we are up against. And we have to be clear in our own self what it is we stand for. Hopefully it's truth, hopefully it's freedom, hopefully it's love and compassion and health and well-being for everybody. Freedom for everybody to get those things, you know, as they see fit, to have the choice. So what I want to say is, don't ever let anybody tell you or infer to you that you are anything but a very powerful spiritual being, because you are. We all are. Every single person here. Every single person. And I heard it said that you're a hero just for being here, because I think we all know pretty well that this is not an easy place to be. And if you ever feel threatened by information that you're taking in, stop. Stop, turn it off, go look outside. Is there anything different out there than was 5 minutes ago or an hour ago or yesterday? You're safe. You're safe. It's not like they're out there waiting for you. And the thing is we want to keep it that way. We want to keep it that way. That's all. We just want to keep it that way. And we want to make it even better. We want to make it even freer and safer for all of us and for all the kids growing up. So let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I think I had something written down somewhere. Where did that go? Oh, right. There was an article on Burning Man. Let me see. I think I have it up here somewhere. I don't know if you saw it. Let me see. Oh, I don't have it up anymore. Wait, I gotta get it. Doot, 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 doot. I'll have it here in a minute. Okay, let's see. I post so many articles that I have to scroll down now. I just posted it today. Here it is. Here it is. Let me open this up. Okay, the title is Mass Oppression by U.S. Government Agency Threatens to Kill Burning Man. So basically it's the U.S. federal government. It's the Bureau of Land Management, which is a U.S. Government agency. They want to take over Burning Man. Basically, they want to replace all the volunteers and everybody, running the place. They want to take it over, have their agents be there and run it. They will frisk everyone coming in. They'll be looking for drugs and guns. And so every single person, all 70,000 of them that come from all corners of the world, will be subject to being frisked, just like you are by TSA. If you ever fly and you have to go through TSA and you don't go through the scanner, they frisk you. That's what they're going to be doing. And then once you're inside, they will be there running everything. So it's a whole thing about how the tactics that they're using is just not very conducive for people who go there with the whole purpose of expansion, expanding who they are, discovering their authentic self. It's a place where you're free to be you for however long you're there, to express yourself in whatever artistic way that you choose to do that. You are among, a family of 70,000 other people who are doing the same thing, and it's all very empowering. And I've never been there myself, but this is how the people that go there characterize the experience. And then when they come out of there, when they go home, they bring this vibe to their communities, and everybody just kind of, rides that wave and grows on those ripples out into society. And, they portray it as a very positive thing for humanity, for society at large. So to bring in this kind of surveillance and this warrantless searches, treating people like they're a criminal, for without any probable cause whatsoever, after coming from the other side of the world, possibly a 20-hour plane flight, God only knows, from wherever they come from in the world, and they arrive and they have to go through that, assault, which is what it is. It's another assault. And the question I want to ask is this a free country? What is this? What is this? Where do we live? Is this the old USSR? What is this? Are people...
But you were operating. No, you said I was operating people. I still have never, not once today, said to you that I was operating at people. You said that I was in possession of the keys. That right there was reason enough.
Wow. That was weird. that was weird. Okay. So 4th of July is coming up. I know we're just we're just coming up on May 1st, but before you know it, 4th of July is going to be here. You know how that happens. Summer hits, bam, 4th of July, it's like in days. It'll seem like it's just in days from now. And, you know, I want you to think about this. I don't know when Burning Man is supposed to be. I guess I'm not sure exactly when they have it. I don't know whether it will have already taken place or if it will be yet to come. I think it's later than that. I don't know for sure. But I want you to think about this on the 4th of July. I want you to think about freedom on the 4th of July. I want you to think about what it is you're celebrating and if we really have what it is you think you're celebrating. You know, I mean, where's the freedom? Who's fighting for our freedom there? Where are the troops? Are the troops going to be there fighting for your freedom? Fighting for the freedom of the 70,000 people in the United States that's supposed to be free who won't be free there? And if the troops that, you know, are supposed to be fighting for our freedom, if they were there, would they be backing up the government or would they be fighting for our freedom? I want you to think about these things because they're important. I don't have the answer, but I want you to think about it. I want you to come up with your answer and let me know. I know what I think. You know, I mean, it's pretty clear to me. Not that I want the troops to come in and actually, you know, battle with anybody. Or you know, least of all the people, certainly not the people. But these are really important things. When they come up, we can't ignore them. Ignore equals ignorance. And when you ignore something, when you are in ignorance of something, that's when it grows. It's not this, what you put your attention on grows. What you ignore grows. I mean, if you put your attention on something and you work it because you're focused on it and you're working with it to make it happen, yes, then it'll grow. But if you put your attention on it just by thinking about it, like being like, oh, you know, this is awful, or blah, 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 you know, that's not going to make it grow. That's not going to make it grow. You know, we want freedom. We have to be active freedom creators and promoters, and you know, we have to hold up freedom all the time. We have to actively do that. So whenever freedom is impinged upon, we need to at least notice. We need to at least say something to somebody, point it out to somebody, because just tell them you're concerned about freedom in general because of this, or what have you, you know. But we have to participate. We have to participate, you know, even in just small ways, because it helps us grow, it helps us be aware, it helps us be better responders when the time comes for us to be responders. It helps us to be educators. Now, I know not everybody is in a place where it's a good thing for them. I know that. And so certainly, you know, don't lose family and friends over it. I don't believe that you should lose family and friends over it. I think that, one-liners, see how, somebody responds. If they don't respond, or if they respond poorly, let it go. And just relate to those people on other levels, things that you share in common, ways that you get along with them, and have your relationship with them on about other things. Every now and then you could drop a one-liner, see if somebody's open or not. If they are, you could say a little bit more. If they're not, don't say any more. But people out in the world, you might want to try that with people that you meet. The same thing. You don't have to get anybody all upset or anything. It doesn't help. It doesn't help to do that, and it doesn't help to get yourself all upset about anything either, really. I mean, yeah, we should be angry at things that we should be angry with, for sure. But not to stay angry, the initial maybe shock, or the initial anger, like outrage, like, whoa, no, we can't, wow, that's wrong, I think that writing, we have with social media now, we have that, and we can kind of disassociate ourselves. We can. What I do is I share all these articles all the time. That's what I do. I share articles. I share all the YouTube videos that people. I mean, there are so many people doing amazing research. So I don't have to duplicate it, I can just share what they have. So share it. That's what I use my Facebook page for. My Facebook page is like a news outlet. I just share article after article, YouTube after YouTube, that is, exposing things that are going on that shouldn't be going on. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of stuff like that, unfortunately. So, I mean, obviously, something we need to pay attention, But someday, I think, to me, the goal is to reach the point where enough people decide to act in unison. For example, let me use the TSA as an example. Say, for example, that most people have finally realized that TSA really has nothing to do with keeping tourists off the planes. It's not really about that at all. Never was, and it never will be. How many people? And should I go into the reasons why? I don't really want to make the video that. I would ask you to figure that out if you don't already know. Look it up, look at, research information, and find out why I would think that. Why would I think that it's not about stopping terrorism on the planes? What do I think it is about? I think it's about controlling the population. I think it's about getting all of us used to feeling like we're prisoners and complying, acquiescing, putting our hands up in the air like we've done something wrong, letting these people, search us like we're imprisoned, in a prison, being moved from one place to another. They want us to be acclimated into thinking, not thinking very much of ourselves, really. That's what they want. They don't want us thinking that we're worth anything. They don't want us realizing our self-worth. And I think that most of us know that there are people that really need to be made legally accountable for what happened on 9/11. But that's a whole other huge story, and if you haven't gotten there yet, I hope you do. I hope you do. Because TSA is not about keeping terrorists off planes. And in fact, look up Kurt Haskell. Kurt Haskell and his wife were on the plane with the underwear bomber. He and his wife are attorneys, and they had a legal firm in their hometown. And what they found out about the underwear bomber was that he was actually put on the plane by a well-dressed man. The guy who was the underwear bomber, quote unquote, he was probably, he was a mind control victim, really, is what he was. He was just gone, just totally gone from all accounts. He was placed on the plane. He never went through TSA. He didn't even have a passport. He didn't have a passport. He didn't have a ticket. And he didn't go through security. They got him on the plane. Long story short, I mean, look up Kurt Haskell, try and find out his story. He tried to take it to court. Long story, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing. Long story short, he couldn't get anywhere in the courts. They just wanted him to shut up and go away. And so he and his wife made the decision to leave the country because they said if their country was willing to put him in danger like that, he couldn't live here anymore. So they moved to Costa Rica. They've been in Costa Rica now for quite a few years now. Can't remember when that happened, but anyway, it's been a few years. So TSA is not about making sure that terrorists don't get on planes, because when they want them on the planes, they get on the plane. They don't go through TSA at all. Only we do. Only we can't take water. How stupid, how crazy is that? You know, last time I flew, which was in February, I had a bottle of water, and, I forgot. I was drinking my water. I was really thirsty. I'd been up I don't remember how many flights I had, and I had been up like 24 hours, and I hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't been drinking much water, and I finally got a bottle of water, and I start to go through the TSA, and I remembered I can't take the water. So I said, all right, well, let me just stand here and drink it. So I stood there, and I was so thirsty. I was so dehydrated that I drank almost the whole bottle. You know, it wasn't a real big bottle, but I drank almost the whole bottle, just gulped it right down. Had a little bit left in the bottom and handed it to her. She takes the bottle, she puts it over there, like it's like going to blow up or something. If it was going to blow up, if it was any kind of danger, she wouldn't be putting it 2 feet away from where she stood. You know, the whole thing is just making us jump through hoops, trying to see how far we'll let them go, how much we'll let them get away with, you know. So here's the thing. If I were to do something, if I were to just say, well, screw you guys, I don't recognize the TSA, and I'm going to walk right through your whole shebang here. I'm going to walk right through and go to the gate and get on the plane. How far would I get? Not very far. But what if 200 people did it? Well, how many would it take? 500 people? 1,000? Everybody in the room? Most of the people in the room? How about if that many people did it all at once? TSA would be gone the next day, at least there. And then if they did it, people would be doing it all over. As long as they realized the truth about TSA. As long as they realize the truth of why it's there and what is really going on with it. If they really think, if they still believe the official story of 911 about how it happened, and they still believe that the whole idea of TSA is to prevent terrorist hijacking of an airplane. Well, then they're probably not going to do that. They're going to think that no, we need it. That it's something that has to be. I don't know how many people still think that. I don't know. I'm hoping nobody. I'm sure there might be a couple people somewhere. I don't know. But see, this is why we have to share information. This is why we have to care enough to receive the information and look at it. It doesn't mean, and certainly no one should simply believe something because they see it. What I like to do is I take information in and I just kind of put it on hold, and I read more, I expose myself more, I look more for more information, and I research a little bit more, and I see what makes sense, and so then I'll reach a point where I kind of think that it's this way until I'm proven that it may not be true, that maybe it's another way. So you just kind of always have to hold it open. But when you see so many events pointing to the same agenda and being carried out in the with the same outcomes, you kind of have to start thinking like, okay, I think I see a pattern here. And we have to just kind of say, wait, we don't need to be living like this. We don't need to be living like this. In what way should we be living to maximize our potential as human beings? And let's do that. Let's maximize the environment for us. Why would we let a few people intimidate and frighten us to the point where we are diminished by fear? And another thing to think about, I think it's a great example. You could look at even the people that if they're all patsies or if they're not, whoever it is, anybody who's ever carried out a true terrorist attack other than governments. Well, those might be governments too, but you know what I mean, like a school shooting or what have you. You take all those people, and you take all the people that basically run the world, which may be 800, or even if it's 1,000 or 2,000. And we have a population of 7 billion people. I want you to think of this. They would be equal, these people that we are like living so much in fear of that we are willing to go through TSA and take off most of our clothes and be patted down or put our hands up like we're, a criminal, and do all that because of those few people. Those few people would be equal to 1 grain of sand on the beach, and the rest of us are the beach. And we're going to be afraid of them? Really? We're going to let them make us jump through hoops and cower and act like they're the master and we're the slave? We're going to actually let them do that, are we? I want you to think about that too. Because the more we think about it, the sooner that we will have that unity in right action. And the sooner that we can achieve that, the sooner we will achieve true freedom. And that's my message for today. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.